Do you know what really sucks? Is sitting down to edit your project and realizing that you have gaps in your coverage or shots missing. You need to have a really good, specific, and detailed shot list. Head over to filmmakersecrets.com/shot list, SHOTLIST, to get a killer shot list template along with some training where I show you step by step exactly how to use it. The most important thing to understand is it's not about the gear. It's not about the filmmaking toys. As much as we love them, as much as we absolutely love to talk about them, it's about the story. Filmmakers have the power to evoke emotion, inspire thought, and drive universal change in this world. Right now, a real seismic shift is happening in the film industry. This is your best chance to join a new filmmaking movement. You have been called to create an everlasting impact with your unmatched, deep desire to tell authentic stories. So how does a filmmaker thrive in an environment that is almost intentionally designed to bring you down? That is the question, and this podcast reveals the answer. What's happening, filmmakers? It's George VK. Welcome to Filmmaker Secrets podcast, episode number 45. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting acronym, a couple of acronyms actually. The first one is UWYG, and the second one is PFI. I'm going to give you just a quick second to try and guess what those stand for. So the first acronym is UWYG, and the second one is PFI. Go ahead. What do you think? I'll wait. Okay, UWYG, use what you got. Use what your mama gave you. Not in that sense. No, don't shake your booty. This is all about the gear, the resources, the actors, the crew, the props, the set pieces, the makeup, all the different elements that go into making a successful film. Use what you got. If you don't have the disposable income to go out and buy the things you need to make your film, use what you got. UWYG. Let's say you don't have a cinema camera, a really expensive cinema camera that costs $50,000 just for the body. Ah, boy, would I love to have one. But use what you got. When I was just starting out, I was designing websites and animating little banners for people to put on their own websites, little headers in Macromedia Flash before Flash was bought by Adobe. And I made a little bit of money, and I purchased my first point-and-shoot digital camera. It was a Canon Power Shot something. I can't remember the model, but it was a tiny little soap digital camera. I bought it with my own money that I made online, and I started taking pictures with it. I always loved photography, but I never actually had a digital camera of my own. I was so proud of the fact that I bought it with my own money. I took it with me everywhere. I was taking photos of little, macro photography of little things that I would find on the ground. I would take nonstop portraits of my friends. I got to a point where I became known as the guy with the camera, right? I always had a camera with me. And as, time went on, as things progressed, I started to actually take portraits of friends, for their acting gigs or just for their portfolio. And eventually I was able to use that money that I made from the portraits I was taking to upgrade my camera. So I bought a Nikon DSLR that made me look badass. It made me look like a pro. And I started taking a lot more headshots and portraits. And I actually started getting into wedding photography from the money that I made with that camera. After it paid for itself. Oops, I just gave away the second acronym, PFI, pay for itself. This is actually a great segue. Let's go with it. PFI, pay for itself. So as I was doing the wedding gigs, I was able to have that camera pay for itself by using it on those projects, right? That people were paying me for. And after that, I upgraded to a Canon 5D Mark II. And so slowly but surely, I was moving my way up through the gear, getting more professional. And the real difference between a professional camera and an amateur camera is just convenience, right? That's it. At the end of the day, yes, there are a multitude of differences between the sensor sizes, the quality of the footage that you get. But ultimately, if we know that we want to focus on the story first, then the look of the film, the sound of all those elements kind of get put on the back burner, because the thing that is most important is the story, right? So the convenience comes in with just the ability to get a much better raw image out of your camera. You're able to get a lot more latitude, a lot more dynamic range, all those geeky technical things that we talk about as filmmakers. But that is ultimately the only difference between a professional camera and an amateur camera. It's the convenience. It's the physical controls that you get, the sensor size. You're able to work with the footage much more deep in a much more flexible fashion. It's a lot more forgiving. You have a lot more control. You have a lot more convenience. So that is the framework that I would like for you to adapt is UWYG, use what you got, right? And when you want to upgrade, when you want to get something a little bit more professional, a little bit more convenient, then PFI, pay for itself. I'm really proud of these acronyms. But regardless, the most important thing to understand is it's not about the gear. It's not about the filmmaking toys. As much as we love them, as much as we absolutely love to talk about them, it's about the story, right? It's about getting the actual cinematic image with lighting. As soon as you understand lighting, that's when you can actually start to upgrade your camera so that your actual camera is able to capture all the beauty that you create with your lighting in a much more flexible, much more controlled way. But until you get there, if you don't have the budget for a professional camera, stick with what you got. Use what you got. So even something like this, right? You can create amazing cinematic images with just your iPhone or just your Android, your smartphone. UWYG, PFI. Here's to your next story, filmmakers. I'll catch you on the next one. If you like that, then you are going to love my Cine Racing Challenge. This is a 7-day filmmaking competition where your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to write, shoot, and edit a short 60-second film in just 7 days for your one chance to win with over $10,000 in prizes. So head over to cineracing.com. That's cineracing.com to get registered. Spots are filling up fast and the timer is ticking before the next Cine Racing Challenge launches. So be sure to head over to cineracing.com right now to get registered. I'll see you over there.